Hi students. In this video we're going to go over photo rendering with SolidWorks. So I'm going to start by creating a part, my famous block that I love to draw. Okay, we have a solid body on the screen now. I think I will turn off my planes and axes. And there we go. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to come up to this row of tabs up here. I want to right click and I want to make sure Render Tools is turned on. I'm going to click on the Render Tools tab. And we're going to start by hitting Edit Appearance. We have Part 5, also the entire part selected, so that's fine. And what I'd like to do is come over to Surface Finish. And under Surface Finish, there are all these different finishes that we can apply. So for example, I clicked on Diamond Tread Plate, and you can see we have this little square. This controls the scaling of the imagery. So if I stretch the little square, I can make the tread plate bigger or smaller. And there's all kinds of stuff. We have train link, cast, that's not real exciting, brushed. Obviously, some are more exciting than others. And the nice thing about this is that these are all just decals laid on the surface. So it does not affect the mass properties, the density, any of that good stuff. I'm going to go back to Diamond Tread Plate. And we can also change the color of it if we like. So if we want, say, pink diamond tread plate, we can do that. And I'm going to say OK. Now what I'd like to do is change the background appearance. I'm going to click on Edit Scene, and I'm going to browse for a new background. Oh, this plaza looks pretty good. I'll say Open, and I have my part in the middle of what might be a nice European plaza. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll say OK to that. So now, maybe for your final capstone project, or maybe if you go to work for Ferrari someday, you're going to want to put a decal on a surface. So let's look at how SolidWorks does decals. I'm going to hit Edit Decal, and I'm going to come down and choose an image path. I just happen to have a rather interesting one on my desktop. So I'm going to choose the main engineering logo. I'm going to click on the top surface. That applies the decal. And I can spin it around and orient it however I want. If I choose to, I can also grab it and stretch it. And scale it. So I like that scale. But this decal has a white background, and I may want the white background to go away and have the decal assume the finish of the rest of the background part. So the way I can do that is I'll choose Selective Color Mask. I'll use the Color Pick tool, and I have to double click in this little chart field. I'm going to click on one of the boxes for custom color. And then I come over and I click to choose a color, and it's going to choose the color at the tip of my mouse pointer. So even though you get the error ding, don't worry about that. Just say OK. And as you can see, the white went away, and now my contouring or my surface finish shines through. Pretty neat. Now there's something that seems odd to me in this picture. I have the sun up here, but the shade's on the other side. That looks a little funny. Let's change it so that we get the shade on the other side. So I'm going to click on my Appearance Beach Ball. I'm going to come over here to View Scene, Lights and Camera. So I'm going to say Show Lights. And these are the default lights that are creating this shade. So let's edit those. So let's see. I'm going to take Directional 1, and let's edit that directional light. I'm going to click on the tip of it, and I'll bring the light around. So now I have my shade opposite the sun, and I can control the brightness with these sliders, make it more or less intense. You can change the ambient brightness so there's more or less contrast with that light, and that works pretty well. So I'll put my light just about where the sun is, so I get a decent shadow on the opposite side. Say OK, and I can do the same thing with these. So if I want to edit Directional 3, I'll say Edit Directional Light, and again I can move it all around. And let's say OK. Now, I think I'll turn these lights off. So I'll click Show Lights, get rid of those. Maybe my boss is coming over, looking at my work, doesn't want to see the main engineering logo on the hood of my new Ferrari design. So if I want to suppress that, I can come over to View Decals. This will be a list of all the applied decals. So if I want to, I can say Hide Decal, or make it show. And if I want to get rid of the decal, I just say delete. There we go. Oh, that's quite nice. If you decide that this surface finish is not something you like, you can come over to this option for View Appearances, and I can actually delete the entire application of that surface finish. So I'm going to remove the appearance, and it goes right back to my modeling default. Once I get everything set the way I'd like it, if I want to output the view, so maybe I want to put it in a manual, something like that, I'll say File, Save As, and instead of a part file, I'm going to choose an image format. So let's see, I'll choose JPEG, and I'm going to put it on my desktop. I'm going to call it Output File. I'll hit Save. SolidWorks is thinking a minute. And there we go. We have a nice JPEG output that we can bring into PowerPoint or whatever else is appropriate. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks.